Mr. Nielsen, or GLAM from Wig Wam. You're listening to the FANTASM Podcast. Rock on!
Phantasm.
Maximum terror.
Oh! That's your target audience, baby!
Phantasm.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Phantasm.
Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal! Sell the metal!
Phantasm.
This is Dr. Vincent West, and we've got a great guest today. We've got GLAM from Wig Wam, and we're going to be talking about their new album, Out of the Dark, which comes out February 10th on Frontiers Records. And how are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So just to kind of jump right into this, this record, when did you guys start the writing process for Out of the Dark?
Oh, it was not too long after releasing the Never Say Die album, actually, because we weren't that busy. It was before the Peacemaker, you know, so, and it was pretty hard getting gigs because of the pandemic, so you know, and we had some spare time, and Tron and I started to write on a new song, and the song's name was Out of the Dark, so we pretty much started off with the title track for the forthcoming album. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. And as far as the recording process for Out of the Dark, was it any different than before, or did you guys do some different stuff?
Yeah, it was a bit different because when we were supposed to start recording, the recordings after we had written all the songs and decided which songs to put on the album, we started the recording process, and Tron got COVID, so we had to postpone, and then he had COVID again.
Oh no!
It was a pretty much harder album to make than Never Say Die, because with Never Say Die we wrote and recorded the whole album without even having a record deal, and we didn't have a release date, and we were just like having a good time, and we could use whatever time we needed because everything was in lockdown and we didn't have anything else to do. With this album, we had both had COVID and the COVID situation, and then sometimes it opened up, and then I was certainly kind of busy doing all my shows, trying to make do for all the years without any income, so I wish it was a bit harder to make, but at the same time, the songs, they came easily. I mean, I wrote a lot of songs back home alone, and same with Tron, and we actually managed to write the first song we have written together, the whole band as a team too, with Bad Luck Chuck.
Oh, cool. And then, as far as this big tour that you're about to embark on, how did all that come about?
Well, after the Peacemaker success, we found ourselves in a situation where we didn't have an agent at all, because our agent didn't believe that the Peacemaker thing would make any impact. So they decided to kick us out of their rooster there, and the website and everything, and they canceled everything, and so we didn't have an agent. But luckily for us, we found an agent in the US, because we really wanted to work in the US after that success, and we found Arm Entertainment, and a great company here in Norway as well, All Things Live, and this company in Europe. So they really wanted to book us as fast as possible in the States because of the Peacemaker success, and we were actually offered to go on tour with Lita Ford and Winger in the summer, but being a European band, you need the working visas and everything. So, and that really takes time nowadays after the pandemic.
Sure.
So we had a tour coming up, but we couldn't make it with a working visa. So we said, okay, we postponed everything and just booked, headline gigs and stuff like that for the January. But that process was too slow too, and now we have postponed it again. But now everything should finally be in order for April.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm happy you guys are able to do that. It's really cool.
And we're happy to. I mean, it's so much harder for European bands to come over to the US to play than for American bands to come over here. I mean, there's a whole thing about the working visas, and you need to go and have interviews at the American embassy, and you need to have all the dates. They have to be signed, and have been booked and everything. And when they are booked, then you can take it to the department. Working on these visas, and if there's a line like now and chaos, I mean, we're left there in bad shit, and we need to postpone everything. So It's been a hard work, but we learned our lesson. The next time we're gonna go on tour, we're gonna give it some extra time for the visas. Yeah.
Excellent. And then, as far as Peacemaker, did James Gunn reach out to you guys directly, or how did that happen?
Oh, that was through, a sync company in the U.S. that really wanted just to try out, so to speak, the songs. So they wanted us to send stems, layers and stuff, so they could try out the songs for something they couldn't tell us anything about because it was a big secret. So we thought, it would be like a commercial or something, and thought, hey, that could be cool. We could do you want to taste it, could be anything McDonald's. You really want to taste it?
Right.
Yes, we do. Yeah. So, that might be fun. But then it ended up being, the Peacemaker, and we were very, very, of course, surprised and happy, and we knew that it was supposed to be, the introduction thing there, but we never knew how big an impact that would be. And I remember seeing, the series, I mean, the first episode, and I thought to myself, wow, this is going to be something, because never seen anything like it. And it only took some hours. And then we saw, all the songs on Spotify that were peaking, and I started getting calls from Rolling Stone magazine and all kinds of shit.
That's cool.
So now something is happening now. But at the same time, I was dealing with this. So happy, and people wanted to book us. It was like I was celebrating, but at the same time, we don't have an agent. When this is finally happening, we don't have an agent to take care of our business. So. There were some weeks there where we worked our asses off. you can say mightily.
Oh yeah, I mean it's got to be a whirlwind with it the show blowing up like that for you.
Yeah. But now finally it's good. I mean, we're finally at a point where we can start working, and our first Australian tour is coming up now next week.
Awesome.
We were very sorry that we had to cancel our gig at the Rock Island. That's the only gig that we couldn't postpone because it's a festival.
Oh, okay.
And so Vince Neil also had to cancel because of COVID. We had to cancel because of the visa. I don't know what's worse.
It's all bad.
I'm glad to go there with COVID and play the gig, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's run through this record real quick. I'll bring the track up. You tell me just a little bit about it. What about the title track, Out of the Dark? What can you tell us about that song?
Out of the Dark was written by Tron and me, and it was the first song to be written for the new album. And we just sat down with our acoustics, and he had this great intro there that we started to work on, and before writing the song, we had to sit down and just talked about life in general, and he had just got out of this relationship. It was kind of in a really hard situation, and tried to look at it in the most positive way. And so that's what where the title comes from, and that led us into a friend of ours that had been in a very bad relationship with domestic violence. So that kind of brought that theme to the table, and more or less. And the whole theme in the middle there, the middle section, was actually something I'd written, on my iPhone. So,
okay.
The audience feel. I think that we brought into the chorus. You can hear it in the chorus. It's kind of put in kind of weird, but at the same time, in the middle eight, it will be all in the front. So I think it came out really great.
It's a great way to kick the album off. What about High and Dry? What can you tell us about that one?
High and Dry came off in my studio. I was writing that, and that was after the Peacemaker success. I told the guys, for this album, we should really have some songs at least that isn't as hard or as brutal or kind of dark songs. We need some songs for the our new listeners in the US and elsewhere that was brought to us by Peacemaker. So I just sat down and did this song, pretty much in the same kind of tempo and with a kind of same kind of beat, but a totally different song, a different theme. It's about, the best revenge in life is to make sure your life is great. I mean, people that hate you. I mean, the people that really don't wish you well. The worst thing for them is to seeing you have success and to have a good life. So make sure to have as good as a life as possible. Yeah.
Awesome. And then what about Forevermore? What can you tell us about that track?
Yeah, Forevermore is Tron's song. I think he, on the last album, Never Say Die, I wrote a song called Kilimanjaro, which was that album's kind of Western feel with all the acoustic guitars.
Cool.
And we talked about, we should really have one of those songs on this album too. And he had this theme and this song and the idea for a Viking theme. And so he wrote it, and we kind of dug it. And it's not, it's a great song, but sometimes when I did the vocals for the song, it didn't remind me of a kind of a typical Wig Wam song. It has more Eclipse DNA or maybe, Pretty Maid's DNA than the Wig Wam DNA.
Sure. With
a Celtic feel and everything. But it's cool. Cool to bring that to the album as well.
Excellent. And then Bad Luck Chuck.
It's actually going to become the next single.
Oh, excellent. It's a great song. Forevermore's a great song. What about Bad Luck Chuck?
Bad Luck Chuck, we wrote together, the four of us. We were in a rehearsal room, and we were rehearsing for one of the shows that we did on the Never Say Die small tour. And we were just jamming, and we thought, wow, this is a cool theme and a great song, maybe. So I had some cool melodies on it, and brought back the raw tape from the rehearsal room, and the melodies just came, and the lyric too. I mean, we all have someone that we know that are complaining about their lives. I have a friend complaining about he never got a record deal, and never got a hit, and he has a great studio and hundreds of guitars and everything, and when he complains, I tell him, how many songs did you write? I haven't done one yet, but I have a great studio. Okay, maybe you should focus more on writing songs than having this great equipment. I mean, you don't need 100 guitars to write one great song. I mean, it's more show off. Same with people that are complaining that they never find a woman, or never get married, or okay. So how is that? because every time you're at those parties where you could actually find someone, you're blind drunk, you know, who the hell would like to get to know you in a situation
exactly.
like that? I mean, you are your worst enemy, you know, and this is a song about one of them guys that we know.
Awesome. What about Uppercut Shazam?
That's one of the first songs we wrote for the album, and that was actually Tron and me, you know, he had this cool theme, and I just brought it back to my studio, and it was one late night I just cranked it up and just blast off in the microphone. I had just been watching the CNN, and it was just when Russia had invaded Ukraine, and I was so fucking pissed that I was kind of drunk as well. I was just was bleeding in my speakers here, and I wrote that song about you know, that David versus Goliath thing, you know,
right?
That attitude that they have,
absolutely,
and yeah. So it's also a theme for you know the regular life as well. I mean. If you can't take it anymore, I mean, don't let people bring you down.
Right. It's a great song. What about Ghosting You? What can you tell us about that one?
Ghosting You. Yeah, that was a song that I originally wrote for maybe some later solo projects. I mean, or Ammunition, which was going more into the 70s direction. So I when I recorded that in my home studio, it was like, it sounded more like, you know, the old 70s stuff, you know, with looser guitars and stuff like that. And I brought it to the table, and the guys loved it, so we decided to bring it into the Wig Wam machinery, and it came out great. I think it has that loose edges, even though it's in a Wig Wam style. I remember telling Tron that I heard something, you know, on the almost like a talk box. So to make him understand what I meant, I was asking him to just record a take with me doing this, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, he tells me. And after he had mixed the song, I rang him up and complimented him for finding that talk box sound. And yeah, great, Tron, what you did with the guitar there.
Yeah,
it's actually, it's not me. It's you showing me what to do. that's actually me just. Oh, okay. So you use that? Yeah, I use that. Okay, cool.
It's amazing.
And the lyric is about, you know, the whole. I mean, when you get older, you are getting better at you know, choosing your friends, and maybe avoiding people that doesn't do anything good to you. So right. It's a song about, you know, if you have friends that are lying to you, or even a girlfriend or a wife that really doesn't respect you enough to tell you the truth, well, maybe it's time to send them away and start ghosting them.
Awesome.
You're better off without them.
That's amazing. It's a really great song. I love the lyrics. It's fucking cool. What about?
Thanks.
Yeah, it's amazing. What about The Purpose? What can you tell us about that one?
The Purpose was a song that Bernd and Tron had written an instrumental for. It was a great instrumental song. Actually, I thought it would probably be used for, you know, the instrumental that we normally do on our albums. Okay. Because we have. Yeah. So, but I brought it back home, and I was just you know, scanning along, and to tell you the truth, the whole the song melody and the lyrics, it all came kind of in my first take on it. You know, I just put it on here, and it just came to me. The whole segment, the whole melody, and the lyrics as well. And it's about, you know, the typical relationship thing. You know, I mean, you fight hard to find that person that you want to have in your life and you want to share your life with. And we don't work hard enough to keep it that way. It's so easy to say goodbye. I mean, to break up. I mean, not being happy. What the fuck is happy? You have to create happy. And if you have found someone that you can create happy with, then do it, because or else you're just gonna find another one that you can create happy with, and then another one. And, you know, you use your whole life finding people that you won't create happy with, because you don't know what happy is. Happy is what you create, and you create that together with a person. It's not something, it's not a given right. It's not something that you are just handed over on a silver plate.
Right. That's awesome. And then the next track, The American Dream. Yeah. What about that one?
Yeah, The American Dream. That's Bert's song. I was just he had recorded his vocals on it, and it was awesome. He's got this, you know, kind of Lemmy kind of voice, so the brutal voice. So I had to go down, you know, I had to dig a bit to find my inner Bert, and find his kind of way of singing, because it really needed that kind of vocals, so I couldn't do my way of singing on it. And it's a brutal song. It's great, and I kind of find it a bit more like a punk song, kind of. It reminded me of Turbo Negro or something like that. Cool. And there's a great lyric as well. So yeah,
it's a really good song. And then 79. What about that one?
Oh, that's beautiful. That's one of my favorites on the album. Even though it's instrumental, I mean, it's Tron paying homage to all his guitar gods, you know, and one of being Gary Moore. It's a beautiful, beautiful melody, and it's so emotional, and still, I mean, there's so much space, you know. It's not, he hasn't put down so many layers, and he has chosen to keep it real, so to speak.
It's got some Thin Lizzy moments in there. I'm a huge Thin Lizzy fan. I don't know if that was on purpose.
Yeah. That's also where you get kind of the Gary Moore vibe, you know.
Oh yeah, very, very cool. And then God by Your Side.
Yeah, that's Flash's song again, and I mean, I decided way back that he really needs one song on every album. I love his voice, and it's a great way also for me on the shows to have a break where he can take the mic, and he has a voice. He's so aggressive, and it's like got this kind of Gene Simmons meets Lemmy-ish style.
Awesome.
I really love that. So I think it's good that he has at least one song on every album, and this was the one.
It's amazing. And then the final song, Sailor in the Desert Sun. What about that one?
Yeah. It's a song I wrote with, you know, I don't know if you're familiar with Jorn.
Yeah, I'd love him.
Yeah, cool. Because I wrote the song for Jorn in the Eurovision Song Contest with a couple of guys that I work with from two different bands in Norway, Eirik Renton and Kjell Åge Karlsson, and they great musicians. And when we teamed up again after we had written this Bloody Faith for Jorn, we were originally kind of trying to find new songs for Jorn, and this one comes up, and I thought it sounded more like a Wig Wam song. Brought it to the table, and the guys dug it. So it's good. It's about, you know, following your dreams. You know, never let anybody tell you what you are going to dream about or how you're going to make it. Don't listen to your father's advice. You'll end up in an office, you know, doing numbers and shitty things.
20, well, it's been probably more like, it's been about 20 years. I saw Jorn singing for Yngwie in Vegas.
Yeah.
When they were touring.
But did it really happen? Because Yngwie doesn't really remember his name, right?
Right. I know that that whole thing's crazy, but I fell in love with him. And then
Jorn is great.
And then
he's my favorite singer.
He's unbelievable, and he's like everything I love rolled up in one. It's like Coverdale and Dio. It's like every great classic rock thing. Man, if you ever talk to him, tell him that the guys here at Phantasm think he's the greatest thing on the planet. I fucking love him. As an American fan, dude, he is amazing. I love him. I love his music. I love that you've worked with him, and I've been a fan for years. I think he's very, very talented.
Oh, he is. And now he doesn't have a label right now. He doesn't have a contract. So
oh wow,
he just finished up with Frontiers, and he's searching for new ways of releasing music, I think, or maybe a new label.
Actually, yeah, because I remember buying his stuff on like AFM.
And you should also listen to his new guitar player, Adrian. He's from my hometown. He's like 22, 23 years old, and I also use him for my solo band. He's
that's incredible.
Fantastic guitar player. Yeah, he's got this bluesy thing. He comes from the blues, you know. He's not one of those guys who goes straight into heavy metal and don't have a clue about anything. But this guy can play Clapton. He plays, you know, blues solos. At the same time, he can crank it up and do the heaviest stuff ever. But, you know, it will always have this melody and the good taste and the rock and roll vibe, you know. So
that's incredible.
So it's going to be interesting following Jorn's new chapter now without Frontiers.
Well, I love him. I wish him all the best, and I wish you guys all the best, man. I think this record kicks ass. It's so good. Out of the Dark is going to be available on February 10th from Frontiers, and so I was going to ask you real quick too. What about the cover for Out of the Dark? How did that happen?
Oh, well, you know, it would be a fun thing to play with the comic thing, you know. After doing the Peacemaker, you know, how about doing some comic stuff, you know, almost like Kiss Unmasked, you know.
Sure.
I mean, we're put into that world right now, and so we just had a photo taken when we did that TV performance in during the summer. I wanted us to fly, you know, out of the dark, you know.
Right.
Yeah, and so I had the idea for the cover, and I just had, I think it was the drummer's son who took the photo from upstairs with us kind of like flying. I just sent this, and I sent that to a guy that did my one of my solo albums cover. He did Smooth Seas Don't Make Good Sailors album. He's a great guy. Ed what's his name? He's from Belarus, and great guy, but he had the wrong style. We really wanted to be softer and more into the typical comical world, you know. So I got in touch with this great guy from England, Steve Drecker or something. I don't remember his name. I think his name is Drecker.
Okay.
Awesome artist, and he did the whole booklet and in the same style. So very happy with it.
It's fucking awesome. It looks so cool. And one other question for you, not to keep you. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Do you think you guys are going to show up in more Peacemaker stuff? Do you think there's going to maybe some different songs, or obviously you're going to taste it? Obviously, I love it. It's the great way to kick the show off. But have y'all talked about doing more stuff?
I really hope so. I really hope so. We've been sending a lot of songs to the Peacemaker guys, and we've been in close contact with them. I don't know yet if there's going to be another season, because obviously I've heard that there was something going on in the HBO Max world. But if there's a new Peacemaker, I really hope they will either use Do You Want to Taste It again in a new dance routine with a new
be awesome.
New characters or something would be great, because I mean it's such a great song for that series. But I have written a couple of songs, and Tron has written a couple of songs that are very, very, can I say, Peacemaker-ish.
Right.
So hopefully they'll use it either for this series or some other series. And the cool thing is, some of the sync dudes in the US, they really wanted more of that Swedish stuff, that Swedish sound.
It's amazing.
That they heard on, but we're not from Sweden, sir. We're from Norway.
Yeah, you're Norwegian. I was about to say. Well,
so I hope so. I mean, it's easy to see what TV does for you. I mean, without the Peacemaker, we wouldn't be talking right now, and we sure wouldn't have been talking about our U.S. tour coming up.
Well, I'm so excited for you guys. Got kids, go see Wig Wam, pick up their new album, Out of the Dark, February 10th from Frontiers. Give it a spin. It's fucking awesome. And, sir, I thank you so much for taking the time to do this today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, sir. And see you in April.
Yeah, man.
Phantasm.
And you know something? I sort of enjoyed it.
Phantasm.